Hello everyone, my name is NURSAFINAS binti LIAS. So today, we are going to learn about supply. Before we start, in this video, I will explain about the definition of supply, the law of supply, supply schedule and supply curve, individual supply versus market supply, change in quantity supplied versus change in supply. The last one is the determinants of supply. What is supply? Supply is an economic term that refers to the amount of given product or service that suppliers are willing to offer to consumer at a given price level at a given period. The law of supply refers to the positive relationship between price and the quantity of a good and service that firms are willing to produce. Supply curves typically have a positive slope. As price increases, quantity supplied increases. As price falls, quantity supplied falls. Next, supply schedule and supply curve. Supply schedule is a table that shows the relationship between the price of a good and the quantity supplied. And supply curve is a graphical representation of the supply schedule that shows the relationship between quantity supplied of a good and its price when all other influences on producer plant sales remain the same. Individual supply versus market supply. Individual supply is supply of an individual producer at each price, while market supplies is sum of the individual supply schedule of all producers in the industry. For an example, at a price of $2, Ben supplies 3 ice cream cones and Jerry supplies 4 ice cream cones. The quantity supplied in the market at this price is 7 cones. Change in quantity supplied. Quantity supplied changes as a result of the change in the good on price and referred to as movement along the same supply curve. Price is not constant along a given supply curve. An increase in price from P1 to P2 increases the quantity supplied from Q1 to Q2. While change in supply exists because of the changes in one or some of non-price determinants of supply. An increase in supply results in a rightward shift, and a decrease in the supply results in a leftward shift. At the price of P in the graph, when the supply curve shifts right from S to S1, then the quantity increases from Q to Q1. To sum it up, change in price of a good or service leads to change in quantity supplied, while change in non-price determinants of supply leads to change in supply. The determinants of supply. Number 1, resource prices. A rise in resource prices will cause a decrease in supply or leftward shift in supply curve. A decrease in resource prices will cause an increase in supply or rightward shift in the supply curve. Number 2, technology. A technological improvement means more efficient production and lower costs, so an increase in supply or rightward shift in the curve result. Number 3, tax and subsidies. A business tax is treated as a cost, so decreases supply. A subsidy lower cost of production, so increases supply. Number 4 is expectation. Expectation about the future of a product can cause producer to increase or decrease current supply. The last one is number of seller. Generally, the larger the number of seller, the greater the supply. Thanks.